Some days we wake up and things just feel off. Not wrong exactly, just a little heavier. Maybe it takes more effort to get out of bed. Maybe the morning coffee doesn't wake us up quite like it used to. A familiar stiffness in the joints, a breath that feels a little shorter, or a strange tiredness that clings even after a good night's sleep. And we tell ourselves, well, I guess that's just part of getting older. And that might be true. To a point. After all, our bodies have carried us through so much. Years of work, raising families, heartbreaks, joys, losses, laughter, and long quiet nights. We've learned to live with little aches and changes. We brush them off. We keep going. Because we're used to being strong, to handling things on our own, to not making a fuss. But sometimes strength isn't about pushing through. Sometimes real strength is in listening, not with fear, but with kindness. You see, the body has its own way of speaking. And as we age, it starts to speak a little softer. Not with shouting pain, but with gentle nudges. A little fatigue here, a quiet cough there. Small things that might not seem like much, but they matter. That's why I want to gently invite you to stay with me for a few minutes. Just a calm, honest talk between us, not to scare you, not to worry you, but to help you notice the little signs that your body might be asking for care. Not panic, not drama, just attention, just wisdom. Because you deserve to feel well. You deserve to feel safe. And if something needs attention, you deserve to know. So let's walk through this together. Slowly, gently, and see if your body has been trying to tell you something important. One of the quietest, yet most telling signs that something may not be quite right is a kind of tiredness that just doesn't go away. I'm not talking about the natural tiredness we feel after gardening or playing with the grandkids. I mean a deep, heavy kind of fatigue, the kind that lingers even after a full night's sleep, that makes even small tasks feel like a mountain. It's like your energy has slowly drained, bit by bit, and no matter how much you rest, the tank never feels full again. I've heard many older folks brush this off. I'm just slowing down, they say. Or, it's probably just my age. And yes, aging does change our pace. That's normal. But this kind of exhaustion can be something more. Sometimes it's your heart working too hard. Sometimes it's a sign that your thyroid isn't doing its job properly. Other times, it might be an infection quietly working in the background, or even the early stages of a condition that needs attention. Imagine your body like an old, trusted lamp. It still stands tall, still gives light. But the bulb is flickering. You wouldn't ignore that, would you? You'd check the wiring, replace the bulb, take a look inside. That same care applies to you. If you find yourself waking up tired every day, needing naps just to get through the afternoon, or losing the energy to enjoy the things you used to love, it's worth bringing up to your doctor. Not because something terrible is happening, but because your body may be asking gently for support. And the truth is, many causes of ongoing fatigue can be treated. With the right care, the light can shine more brightly again. You deserve to feel that light. So if this sounds familiar, if you've felt like your days are getting heavier without reason, don't just carry it in silence. That whisper of tiredness might be your first clue that your body is asking for help. There's a quiet kind of fear many of us carry as we get older, the fear of forgetting. Not just where we left our keys, but names, appointments, familiar words, or the reason we walked into a room. And we often joke about it. Senior moments, we call them with a chuckle, trying to laugh off the small slips. But deep down, many of us worry. We wonder if these little lapses are just part of aging, or if they mean something more. Let me say this gently. Some forgetfulness truly is a normal part of getting older. The brain, like the body, slows down a bit. But there are certain changes that shouldn't be ignored. If you've noticed it's getting harder to follow conversations, or you're struggling to complete tasks that used to come easily, like cooking a favorite recipe or balancing a checkbook, it might be time to speak with your doctor. If friends or family mention that you're repeating questions or getting confused more often, please don't be embarrassed. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means something might be out of balance, and it's okay to ask for help. Sometimes, these symptoms are early signs of cognitive decline. but not always. Memory changes can also be caused by things like dehydration, vitamin deficiencies, medication side effects, or even depression. All of these are treatable, especially when caught early. Think of your mind like a once clear field now covered in a soft morning fog. It's still the same field underneath, full of life, full of memories. But the fog makes it harder to see. And with care, sometimes the fog can lift. There is no shame in noticing these changes. In fact, it takes great courage to name them out loud. You are not losing who you are. You are paying attention. You are being wise. And you're not alone. Many of us walk this path. What matters is not hiding it, but bringing it into the light. Gently, bravely, and with love. Our bodies speak in quiet ways, not always with pain, but with subtle shifts. And if we're not paying close attention, we might miss them. Today, I want to gently talk about 3 changes that may seem small on their own, but can sometimes be early signs that something in the body needs help. The first is unexplained weight loss or gain. Maybe your clothes suddenly feel too loose, or a favorite ring slips off your finger without you noticing, or perhaps the opposite. The scale is slowly creeping up and you haven't changed your eating habits. These changes, especially when they happen without effort or explanation, could point to an underlying issue. For example, weight loss might be linked to diabetes, a thyroid problem, or even certain cancers. Unexpected weight gain might be related to fluid buildup from heart or kidney problems. It's not about panic, it's about paying attention. The second sign is shortness of breath, especially during everyday tasks. Maybe walking to the mailbox leaves you more winded than usual, or you find yourself needing to pause while climbing the stairs even if you've always managed before. This could be a sign of lung or heart issues, and it's worth mentioning to your doctor. It doesn't mean something is terribly wrong, but your body may be asking for support. To breathe a little easier again. And then there's the lingering cough or sore, something that just won't heal. A cough that lasts more than a few weeks, or a sore on the skin or in the mouth that doesn't go away, deserves attention. These small things can be signs of infection or, in rare cases, something more serious like early cancer. But the important thing is this: the sooner we know, the sooner we can do something about it. Think of it like an old wooden house, sturdy, beautiful, full of stories. But even the strongest homes creak, shift, and settle. And when the wood groans or a window sticks, we check on it. Not because we think the house is falling apart, but because we love it enough to care for it. Your body is that house. It's held you through a lifetime. And these small signs and changes in weight, breath, or healing are simply the house asking you to take a closer look, not with fear, but with love. There's a kind of knowing that lives deep in our bones, something beyond symptoms and aches. It's a gentle sense that something within us feels off, not broken, not loud, just a quiet discomfort we can't quite name. Maybe you've felt it, a heaviness in the chest that doesn't come from sorrow, or a feeling in the gut that something just isn't right. Our spirit and body are woven tightly together, and sometimes when the body is struggling, the heart feels it first. It can show up as anxiety that lingers like a shadow, even when nothing is wrong. Or a sudden sadness that doesn't feel like us. We may lose interest in things we once loved or pull away from friends without knowing why. Some call it depression. Others call it weariness of the soul. Either way, it matters. And it's worth listening to. Sometimes this inner shift comes when something in the body is out of balance. Low vitamin levels, hormone changes, side effects from medication, or the quiet early signs of illness. But too often, emotional and spiritual pain is brushed aside. We tell ourselves to be strong, to keep going, to not complain. But strength, real strength, also means allowing ourselves to pause, to ask, why do I feel this way? And then, to gently seek answers. I want to say this clearly, with love. It is not weakness to admit when something feels off inside. It is wisdom. Your body may not be shouting, but your spirit might be whispering. And it's okay to listen. If you've been feeling unlike yourself lately, more tired, more distant, more lost, Please don't carry it alone. Talk to someone you trust. Reach out to your doctor. Pray, reflect. Write it down if you need to. But don't ignore it. Because even the quietest signals inside us are worthy of love and attention. Just like the hush of wind before the storm, or the stillness of a pond before it ripples, our inner world often speaks before the body does. And those whispers can lead us back to healing, if we're brave enough to hear them. If you've stayed with me this far, thank you. I know these aren't always easy things to think about. Sometimes just hearing about signs or symptoms can stir up worry. But I hope more than anything that what you feel right now is not fear, but calm. A sense that you're not alone, and that your body, even with its changes, is still a wise and worthy companion. You've lived through so much. You've built a life, faced hardships, celebrated joys, and learned how to keep going, even when things got hard. That kind of strength doesn't disappear with age. It deepens. And part of that strength now means listening more gently to yourself. Taking notice. Asking questions when something doesn't feel quite right. This isn't about checking every little thing or living in constant worry. It's about honoring the body that has carried you through all these years. A body that has worked hard, loved deeply, and done its very best for you. When it sends a signal, whether through fatigue, forgetfulness, changes in breath or weight, or simply a quiet feeling inside, you don't have to ignore it. You can respond with care. And if you need to see a doctor, that doesn't mean something is wrong. It means you are choosing to care for yourself with wisdom and love. That's something to be proud of, not ashamed of. So, my friend, as you go about your day, take a quiet moment just for yourself. Put a hand over your heart. Breathe slowly, and ask gently, how am I really feeling? The answer may be small. It may be simple. But it's worth hearing, because your life still matters deeply. Your health still matters. And you, just as you are, right here, right now, are worthy of peace, attention, and care. Take good care of yourself. You're not alone. We're walking this path together.